What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Villager Lab. Last time we made a mouse villager, and the reason that I did that was because I knew it was going to be easy. I could have put 2 dots in a line, and it still would have been better than whatever Limburg is supposed to be. But now that this is officially a series, I think I need to choose a species that's not quite as gross. Since last time I did a species that had pretty much only bad villagers, I think it makes sense to now do a species that has pretty much only good villagers. So join me as today I add a new deer villager to Animal Crossing New Horizons. So the first thing that really jumps out to me when I'm looking at deer villager is their antlers. They all have different unique antlers, which is cool but also very daunting for me. I wouldn't really say that the antlers are a focal point of the deer, but they definitely make them more unique. Like, you could have a silhouette of them and know which deer it is, as opposed to like a squirrel, where if it's all black, you don't know what it's gonna be. So whenever I think of a deer, typically what I think of first is like nature, like flowing streams, butterflies flying around, plants, trees, flowers, all that type of stuff. What I sort of had in mind for this villager would be a character that represents Mother Nature, have a lot of like earthy tones, lots of browns, blues, greens, stuff like that. The only thing design-wise I know for sure I want to do is I want this character's antlers to have like vines coming off of them and flowers growing and all that type of stuff to really sell that naturey look. Yeah, something kind of like this, just it's got the flowers growing and the vines are wrapped around, so it looks like she's been out in nature for a while. I'm going to go ahead and get started doing that, and I'll try to think of what I want the actual character to look like while I'm doing that. I'm not really sure, like I said, what I want to do yet, but I think it'll come to me while I'm working on the antlers. I think I can just modify Bam's antlers, because his antlers already kind of look like sticks, so I think with a little bit of tweaking, I can get them to what I had in mind. Yeah, that looks good. It looks kind of like sticks, but it doesn't look like we just stabbed 2 sticks into her head. Yeah, I'm looking through. It doesn't look like any of the other deer villagers have horns that look similar to this, so that's going to be good with the unique look. And once we add the vines and stuff, it'll be completely differentiated. I also thought that only the males had antlers, but then I scrolled down and I see that Shino has antlers, so I guess that rule doesn't exist. Like, it looks like they thought they were going to make it exist, and then they added Shino in with the new update and just threw that rule out the window. I think in real life, female deer typically don't have antlers, but they also don't really wear clothes, so I think we're able to take some creative liberties there. So I added some spirals so that it looks kind of like ivy or like one of those creeping plants that is forming around the horn. You know, maybe she's been in nature for a little while, something like that. I think it looks pretty good. I'll have to mess with it obviously a little bit more, but I think the idea is there. I think I'll probably add some flowers just to give off like that motherly feeling. I'll probably add a couple of leaves and stuff like that, just make it look a little bit more like vines instead of just a green spiral. Okay, so while I was trying to go through the files to get like vines and leaves and stuff like that, I came across this. And come on, this looks like a horn, doesn't it? I think I may still stick with what I have now, but if it ends up not looking right, I may just use this vine as a horn, because it's already in the game. It already looks good like that, and it fits the art style and everything like that. So I may replace the horns with this vine. I'm not sure yet. All right, I just wanted to see what it would look like, and I don't think it looks good. It's definitely unique, but I think it's a bit much. I'm probably just going to stick with the regular antlers. Okay, wait, I changed the color from blue, and I think I might kind of like it. Maybe I'll just make 2 different versions, like one with regular antlers and then one with vine antlers. That's not a cop-out, is it? I can do what I want. It's my show. I'm going to keep the vine antlers in the back of my mind, but I think we're going to move forward with the regular antlers. I just spent a little while tweaking and changing colors and doing all this stuff. I probably should have actually checked and made sure that it worked in the game before I spent a while doing all that, but we're living in the moment. We're going to get it figured out. Well, it looks like it'll work, but that does not mean it'll work in the game. Yeah, nope, that does not look right, but I'm pretty sure I know what the issue is. Also, don't pay attention to these little gross tiny limbs. I know how to fix that as well. Maybe it's just a stylistic choice, you guys don't know. I can't go back and check yet, hold on. Kyle's about to catch something. Come on, Kyle, you got it, buddy. Keep on trying. Oh, he missed it. That's sad. Okay, it looks like everything works out with the model, which is good. So now I think I want to move on to kind of changing the color and getting sort of the base look of where we need to go from here so that we can get started on doing the actual textures and everything. In terms of color, I want to do something kind of similar to Eric and Fauna, how they're sort of that golden brown. They just have a very deerish look, if that makes sense. They're just like a very nice color brown, so I want to do something like that, just sort of almost golden, but not necessarily golden. I also think I wanted to put gold in here somewhere. I was thinking of doing kind of like gold eyeliner or something, but I think it might be cool to do gold horns. I don't know, I'll have to see how it looks, but gold horns might be kind of neat. So this is sort of where I'm at right now. The colors aren't going to be super accurate here in Switch Toolbox, but once I move it into the game, we'll be able to see it a little bit more accurately. But what I did was go ahead and give her gold horns and then have sort of a goldish glow. It almost looks like she's glowing, but you know, that sort of gold fade in into the brown. I think that's going to look really cool. I want to see how it looks in the game. I might end up just covering up the face, not giving any eyes yet, because I still don't know what to do with that. But just cover that up with the same color brown, just so we can see what it looks like in the game. All right, yeah, I just caught her walking right here. Obviously, the eyes are all messed up and all that. I'll have to fix that. But I think in terms of color, it's pretty close to what I want. I might have to tweak it a little bit because, like I said, it's tough to see what it's actually going to look like in Switch Toolbox as opposed to in the actual game. This is just an idea at the moment, but I'm thinking maybe in terms of clothes, maybe this toga, because I want her to have that sort of like Greek goddess feel, like Artemis, the goddess of wildlife and all that. I think that would look cool if she wears the toga. I'm not really sure. Like, that was an idea that I had in mind. Now that I've put it on her, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see what it looks like once we get the eyes and everything in there. I think the eyes are going to really help everything. We'll see, though. Okay, I'm not looking forward to this part. Anytime I'm trying to design my own villager, the eyes constantly give me trouble because there's so many different eyes that you can choose from, and they pretty much make or break the character, in my opinion. I'm scrolling through like all the villager lists, just trying to kind of get inspiration and see what the other eyes look like. I stopped here on Amelia because I really like the way that her eyes look with that sort of eyeshadow on top, and then I guess it's supposed to be like an eyelash, but that's sort of what I had in mind whenever I was picturing this character in my head. If we are trying to make this character like a goddess of nature or something like that, we want her to be both caring and also like powerful and look not threatening, but, you know, intimidating. And I think that that eye sort of fits that. I might be thinking too far into this. It's just an eye on a cartoon character. But you get what I mean. I think that this eye would look good on a deer. None of the other deer have it. Like Fuchsia kind of has an eye like that, but it's a lot like shorter. So I think that this longer version would look good on a deer villager. Okay, I made a little like mock-up, I guess. This is just a rough sort of sketch so I could see what it would look like, kind of get what was in my mind onto the character and just see. I'm liking the way that it looks. Obviously, I'm going to have to refine it a little bit, move the eyes and all that, but I think that that eye type is going to work. I am kind of getting nervous that there's not enough going on the face. I was worried that the eyes were going to be the problem, but I think the whole face is going to be the problem. Originally, I had just planned to have the whole face be brown and then obviously have eyes, but the more that I'm looking at it, the more that I'm seeing that it looks a little bit weird if it just stays all brown. Like, it looks fine, but it's just boring. I was going to keep the face pretty simple because I wanted the antlers to be like the main focus, but that's not really what you're going to be looking at whenever you look at the character, so I think I need to add a little bit more detail onto the character, but I'll do that after I kind of finalize the eyes with the look that I want. Now, one thing I kind of skipped out on with the last episode was personality types. A character's look is kind of based on their personality type, or I guess it could go the other way around. Their personality type could be based on their look, but I knew from the beginning that I wanted this character to be a sisterly villager because that's about as close as we're going to get to like a motherly type, mother nature type thing. When you read sort of the characteristics description of a sisterly villager, it says, these villagers are tough, but they still care deeply about their appearances. When befriended, they give players fighting tips and teach them ways to relax. So that's sort of what I was trying to get at with talking about a goddess, where they are very feminine, but they're also not to be messed with. Anyway, all that to say, I'm pretty sure I got the eyes where I want them to be. So these are the eyes that I decided to go with. I think they're cute, but they're not overly cute, which is a good characteristic of a sisterly villager. Like, all of them are pretty cute, but I wouldn't say that any of them are like over the top, trying super hard to be cute or anything like that. I'll check it in game in a second, but first I want to figure out what I want to do with the face because I don't think it's going to work as just brown. As you can see here on Blender, I've been trying to figure some stuff out. I wanted to do something that kind of went up like this, sort of gold accents that go around her eyes or something like that, but I don't think that's really gonna work. When looking at all the deer villager, a lot of them have a different colored, I guess snout is what it would be. So maybe I'll do something like that. I might make it darker because I think making it gold would be a bit too much. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to make it darker first, and then if that doesn't work, I'll probably switch to gold if that looks good. Okay, the eyes look good. That's pretty much the only thing I can say about this. That mouth is gonna have to change for sure. I guess I'll just try gold. If gold doesn't look good, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, also, I changed the color of the antlers. I just made them more white. The gold just wasn't really working for me. It was sort of clashing with that green of the vines. I think that this looks better. Okay, I'm gonna make the snout gold, but I'm not gonna make it quite as light as the eyeliner. I don't know if you'll even be able to tell, but I'm having it be like a little bit darker so that hopefully it blends nicer with the front and it doesn't look like she's pretty much only yellow and brown. Okay, so this is where we're at. I do like the yellow. I still feel like something is missing though. I think I'm gonna ask some other people what they think and get a little bit of like input on what other people think I should try to do, because right now something seems like it's missing. I just don't know what's missing. I think I'm gonna stop for the night, get some of the advice from other people, and then I'll come back and we'll figure something out. Okay, I got a couple ideas from some people. I was told to try adding blush, and I was told to try adding spots. I'm not really sure about the blush. I'll still try it out, but I don't think it's necessarily going to fit with this color scheme. But the spots, I do like that idea. I just don't know how I'm going to implement it. I've come out with a couple different layout ideas for the spots, so I'm going to run through them real quick, just kind of show them off, and then I'll decide which one I want to do, if even any. So, maybe it'll be better just to not have spots at all. So the first one that I had in mind was just kind of random dots everywhere. That looks better in nature. In Animal Crossing, I don't think it really looks quite as good. Animal Crossing is very big on symmetry and making things look symmetrical and, having the same thing on the right side and the left side. So I don't think this is really going to work out that great. I got the two other ideas that I have I think are better, but this is just the first one that I tried out, just attempting something. So with symmetry in mind, I made this one. It looks sort of like eyebrows. I didn't mean for it to be eyebrows, but I just wanted to have dots on the face that followed some sort of pattern and has some kind of symmetry. I like the way that it looks, but I did another one that sort of, I don't know if I would say it improves on it, but it's just a different type of look. And then this last one is probably the one that I'm going to end up going with. It takes the idea of the one that I had before, but adds just a little bit more interest to it. I think it may be a little bit too much. I'm not 100% sure, but I like the way that this one looks. It's interesting. So I think I'm probably going to go with this one. I'm not sure yet, though. What I am going to do is remove the blush because I don't think it's working. And once I remove that, I'll bring these spots back in and see how that looks. And if I want to go with it, then I'll go with it. Yeah, so I think this is what I'm going to end up going with. She looks pretty unique, and really what I wanted to do was differentiate her from Fauna because she was starting to look pretty similar to Fauna, and I wanted to make sure that there was no way that you would be able to mix the two of them up. I want to take a little break from making the eye textures so that I can check out what I want her to wear, because that is just as important as everything else. So I brought in some pieces of clothing that I think would work with the character. This oversized shawl shirt I think would look good. I got a couple different colors that I think work with the character. I also chose these peasant blouses because I think it looks pretty naturey. It looks like they got flowers on them. The sleeveless dress shirt, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but I brought it in anyway. And the sweetheart tank and shirt I think is going to look good. Actually, let's try out this one because I think it'll look pretty good on her. Yeah, it looks cool. I think I want to switch it out to something that has maybe a little bit more color in it, maybe something green like this. Yeah, I think the green looks pretty good. The lighting in here is a little bit weird because it's nighttime in the game, so the things kind of look different than how they did before, but I like the green. I might change to a different shirt, but I like the green look. I want to try out this peasant blouse. This is the one that I had in mind first. I'm going to try this green one. Yeah, actually that doesn't look very good. It kind of blends in a little bit too much. I'm going to try out the blue one. Yeah, I think that's the one. Having some blue in there I think really makes everything else like pop. So I guess that will be her starting clothes. I think pretty much the only thing that we have left is the name, and this is something that I've had in mind since I came up with the idea for this villager, and that name is Tara. I know what you're thinking, Tara is just a normal female name. What's so special about it? And yes, Tara spelled T-A-R-A is just a normal female name. However, Tara spelled T-E-R-R-A is a little bit different. As we can see here, Terra is actually the name of the Roman goddess for the earth, as well as the Latin name for our planet. You guys catching a little theme here? Obviously, we've been doing Mother Nature stuff, so if we name our villager Terra, it's a nice little reference to Earth and Mother Nature and everything like that without being too over the top, and, it's more subtle, which I like. So her name will be Tara, spelled T-A-R-A, but obviously we'll have that double meaning with Earth and all that. I thought that was pretty clever. So with that out of the way, all we have to do is show off our new deer villager, Tara. I had a lot of fun making Tara. I like the way that she turned out. I would definitely have her on my island. I know some people may not like her, but there are also probably a lot of people that do like her. That's kind of the fun of the show, is that I can try out different things and just see what different people like. Obviously, everybody's tastes are different, so I don't necessarily want this show to be, can I make the best looking villager ever? It's just, can I make a villager? You know, maybe I'll come in someday and make an ugly villager intentionally, because there are ugly villagers in the game. I just want to try to do something at least a little bit different in each episode to keep things fun and unique and not let me get too comfortable with this. I have intentionally not given her a phrase because I want you guys to come up with a phrase. Every time I read the comments in my other videos, people have much better ideas than I do. So I figured I would get you guys to come up with it, since your ideas are, sometimes better than mine. And I think that some people can come up with some pretty cool things. So let me know in the comments what you think Tara's phrase should be. As always, if you're an artist and you're feeling generous and want to draw Tara, please do, and send it to me over on Instagram. The link will be in the description and probably in the pinned comment as well. I'd love to see what you guys draw for her if you end up doing that, and the same for any other character that I've made in the past or in the future. Other than that, thanks for checking out Villager Lab Episode 2, and I will see you guys next time.